play Star Spangled Banner. Please remain standing. Hands on our hearts.
Y'all be seated. Please welcome our speaker, Sergeant Major Jeremy Byers of the Kansas National Guard Museum.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here commemorating Veterans Day. I promise there won't be any push-ups or running or anything like that. I'll try to keep it short and to the point. I'm going to tell you what today means to me. My first question to you before I start is who all has a veteran in their family? Next time you see them, ask them why they served. As I move through this presentation today, I'd like you guys to keep that question in your mind and make sure you ask them next time. You don't necessarily have to ask them about their experiences, but ask them why they served, because that's really what today's all about. Veterans Day, or Remembrance Day, was originally a commemoration of the Great War, or World War I. This war claimed 37 million lives. Across the world, 50% of the soldiers who fought in that war became a casualty, either dead or wounded. So this day, November 11th, was designated as a commemoration day to all of that sacrifice. In the 1950s, the purpose of that day shifted to commemorate the service of all veterans, particularly the veterans who had recently served in Korea and World War II. As the command historian for the Kansas Army Air National Guard and the curator of the Kansas National Guard Museum, I get to commemorate veteran services every day. I get to read the stories of their service and celebrate the men and women who have given their time and efforts to this nation. It's amazing to read the stories of the 70,000 Kansas service members who served in World War I in some of the most appalling conditions imaginable, all because their nation asked them to. Over the last few years, I've been honored to retell their stories and recount the triumphs of the Kansas service members in Kansas, nationally, and I even had the honor of going over to France and telling our story there. They're gone now, all the service members from World War I, and their stories are silent, except for the ones that we have. We have to keep telling those stories. We have to remember what they did for us. 2 decades later, over 200,000 Kansans served in World War II. In the 3 primary branches, the Army, Navy, and Marines. The Air Force was at that point still locked in under the Army. They didn't get away from us for a few years. We just finished commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Roughly 12% of the Kansas population served in some capacity during that conflict. 12%. Roughly 5,500 of them never saw Kansas again. This veteran generation is almost past. Talk to your grandparents, talk to your great-grandparents, understand the stories, understand why they served, because those memories are going to be gone very soon. Both of these groups have largely passed on now. Their stories are only memories, or a worn uniform, or a handful of medals. Their deeds and actions are unknown or forgotten. The stories of living service members are harder to find now. In World War I, 8% of the population nationally served. In World War II, 10% nationally served. Right now, 1/2 of 1%. 1/2 of 1% served. I have deployed 8 times, and over those deployments, and through the roughly 29 years of service I have, I learned a lot from my fellow service members, and I am thankful to them. The Army is all about acronyms, and the ones that we have for our values, those things which we hold most dear, is leadership. LDRSHIP. So I'm going to walk you through what I learned from the people I served with based on those letters. I learned loyalty from Private Canavan in Korea. We had an inspection after coming out of the field, after running around in the mud a whole bunch, and my sergeant asked me if I cleaned all of my gear. And of course, I told him, yes, I have. My canteen cup, the thing I drunk out of the most, was not clean. It had diesel fuel in it. And he poured me a glass of water in that cup full of diesel fuel, and he told me to drink it. I didn't drink the diesel fuel. However, after I told them that I had to clean my gear properly, Private Canavan took the responsibility of not helping me out. And him and I both served that first Christmas in a cold field in Korea guarding a helicopter. Loyalty. I learned duty from an Iraqi soldier, Private Mohammed Al-Hadis, who, despite the danger to himself, continued to guard a mosque even though the rest of his unit had fled. We were doing a patrol on the south side of Baghdad, and as our vehicles were pulling up towards that particular building, there was a whole bunch of Iraqi army vehicles going the other direction. Generally speaking, you don't want to go where people are running away from, so I stopped, and my interpreter got out, and we asked him what was going on, and he told us that there was an attack coming, and that he was not leaving his house. Duty. I learned responsibility from then Captain Morton in Bosnia, who took a substandard soldier, i.e. me, and made him something more. He looked at me and he didn't see somebody who was just trying to get by. He saw somebody who had potential. He encouraged me to go to college. He encouraged me to do something better and serve the nation. And forever, I will hold him in great respect. I learned selfless service from my wife, who, even though she is also in the military, works through all the chores of single parenthood when I'm gone. She worries about me not coming home, and she makes sure everything is taken care of when I come home. And she helps me when I struggle. Selfless service. I learned honor from my 15 soldiers that I was assigned to in Iraq, who, despite weariness and fatigue, always went on the mission with me, even when they didn't have to, even on their days off, and regardless of the personal danger. We did over 288 missions while we were over there. We were blown up 4 times. We came under fire 36 times that I know of for sure. But they never looked back. They always were there. They were grumpy, but they were always there. Honor. I learned integrity from Private Baxter, my battle buddy in basic training, who, when our weapons got mixed up and I ended up with this very dirty weapon, took it upon himself to admit to the drill sergeant that it was his fault, and he took the punishment. Integrity. I learned personal courage from Specialist McDonald, once again in Iraq, who kept us safe despite being wounded and hurt from an IED that had happened just previous to that. He always watched out for the rest of us through 208 convoy missions, and he refused to be left behind. I am thankful to all those I've served with and who have served before me. The men and women I've worked with are the finest in the world, regardless if they were Army, Air Force, Navy, or Marines. I've been honored to serve with them. We are all honored, all of us, that they chose to defend and support our nation. I am thankful to my wife and my kids for all the support that they offer every day. Many veterans have PTSD, and their families are the ones who provide the balance as the veterans push through their memories and their experiences. Veterans are a special breed. They have served their communities and their nations quietly, with dignity, and with respect, asking very little in return. They are proud of their service and what they have done, but most pass it every day without even knowing it. Their service is what lets us live our lives of freedom. We owe them everything. As a final note, on today and this weekend, when you are wandering around at the store or outside, you see a veteran with their family, thank the veteran for their service. But please don't neglect to thank the family for their sacrifice as well. They keep the home fires burning. Children who are without a mother or father for a year still keep doing what they're supposed to do. And these families struggle through long nights without their loved ones, and they are so miraculous. Thank you for your time and everything that you do.
Thank you again, Sergeant Major Myers. Now the Ram Curves VFW post number 3084 will dedicate the tank in the park.
We, the members of Graham Herbert's VFW Post 3084, would like to take this opportunity to dedicate the M60A3 tank memorial in our city park to honor the brave men and women who gave their lives in the line of duty for their country. In order that we, the members of the Valley Falls community, may never forget the sacrifices our service members and their families have both made here and abroad in times of war, that we may continue to live in peace and freedom. VFW members, Post 3084, on your feet. Present. Oh. Order. Oh, take seats.
At this time, VFW Post Commander Jerry Tolis and Post Adjutant Steve Reagan will present the Patriot Panel Awards.
Patriot Pen is a nationwide VFW-sponsored youth essay competition, giving students an opportunity to write essays expressing their views on an annual patriotic theme. Last year, more than 138,000 students participated in this contest. The first place national award is currently $5,000. This year's theme was, how can I be a good American? I'm proud to say that post number 3084 received 3 entries, and we're presenting each with a certificate of merit and a monetary award. Would the following students please come forward? Paisley Hyman, Hagen Pennell, and Lexi Welch. Again, thank you, students. We appreciate you competing in this contest every year. We very much respect your opinions and your ideas and your essays. They're very good. Thank you.
Chris Hansford and the elementary student body will sing God Bless the USA.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I've worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I finally stand up next to you, and the defender still the name. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the one tonight who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defender still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the one tonight who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defender still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
We have a special presentation of 3 quilts of friendship and respect to be presented to 3 Vietnam-era veterans. These quilts were lovingly made by the Happy Stitchers, Rita Shell, Donna Shell, Bonnie Hewards, Kathy Frakes, Lynette Valentine, and Betty Barnes. Could we have Ben Hewards and Don Schmelsley come up in front of the stage, please? A quilt was also made for Gerhard Malm, but he was unable to attend.
Please join me in another round of applause for the veterans and ladies who made these beautiful meals. The high school band will play Armed Forces, the Pride of America, tribute sung by Chris Hansford. Please stand when your brand of service is played.
United States Army. there's a way, my boys. Hey, there's a way. Farewell to college joints, we sail at break of day. Through our last night of shore, tree to the fall. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you on your song. United States Lone Star. We're always ready for the call. We play such a skippy to serve and score and Hollywood. I shall on purpose be. Separate us is our guide, our fame, our glory to fly, to sail, to fly and night. I can start, we are for you. United States Air Force. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to be our thunder, attaboys to the gun. Down the line, strike our fate from under, up on one till wars. We live and they work out and they nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
Please join me in a round of applause for all the veterans and military personnel here with us today.
Please stand as taps are played to honor those veterans who have passed away from this life. Everyone can be seated. Thank you, veterans, for attending the 14th Annual Veterans Day program. We hope we have made this day memorable for each and every one of you. Your presence here today has honored each of us at the Valley Falls School District. Thank you to our staff and students for their talents and participation. We would like to acknowledge Mr. Brian Hirsch's social studies classes for their presentations at the back of the gym. Also, a special thank you to the VFW and the Kansas Army National Guard for the support of our Veterans Day program. Please pick up the thank you card as you exit the ceremony in the back table if you did not receive at the beginning of the ceremony. Thank you, and this concludes our 2021 Veterans Day program.